Consumers usually get to play their games once they're finished. It's only in some cases that gamers get to play their games in early development, or rarely do they see them in beta forms. Not in this case, not here. Here in the beta zone. How's it going, gamers? Today we'll be taking a look at the beta in history of Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now, we've already done a beta zone episode on the original N64 Super Smash Bros. So if you guys want to check out that video, be sure to hit up the description below or click the annotation on your screen right now. Now let's start off with stages. As far as stages go, there are 5 unused stages in Super Smash Bros. Melee. 2 of them being Ice Climber stages that could have been used in adventure mode but were later scrapped. There's another stage that's just a plain black background called Dummy. Most likely it's just something to test out animations, how they look on a black backdrop, but no one really knows why this was created. There's also a stage called Test that just has a very long platform, and oddly enough the background is of a pub, and it's just there, most likely just to test out animations or test out how the 3D would work with platforms or just the background, but no one really knows why it was a picture of a bar. There's also another stage called Acania that's from the setting of Fire Emblem. Most likely this became the castle stage in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Now if you remember back to the Break the Target mode, Zelda and Sheik shared the same stage or test, but originally Super Smash Bros. Melee was going to feature their own unique stages for both Sheik and Zelda, but that was ultimately scrapped to just have one for both characters. Originally in All-Star mode, each character was going to have their own intro before you fought them. So when you went to go play Mario, a little intro video would play of Mario before you fought them. That was ultimately scrapped for unknown reasons, but the videos can still be found on the final version of the game. There's also an unused Pokemon, which was Ditto, and the concept of this was that if you got Ditto, Ditto would become a teammate player and clone one of the people on stage. This became a problem because ultimately if you played with 4 players, it would become more of an issue if you had a random 5th player help you out. This most likely became assist trophies in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. In the E3 2001 trailer, you could see that in the stage Great Bay, you could originally go into the laboratory in the stage, but now it's become a background in the final version of the game. You can see this in the trailer, and you can see this in multiple screenshots released by Nintendo back in 2001. In addition, you can actually still find textures of inside the laboratory within the final version of the game. There's also some minor changes to stages in the final version of the game. For example, the Hyrule Temple stage originally had an elevator on it and high platforms in the middle of the stage where you could see in the intro video of Super Smash Bros. Melee. There's also some slight changes to the structure of Yoshi's Story and Yoshi's Island. On Yoshi's Story, you can see that the platform at the bottom is a little bit longer or slightly steep than the original version of the game if you look at the screenshot here. Also on Yoshi's Island, the number of blocks that were floating above the stage increased to 5 rather than the original amount in the final version of the game. Aside from that, there's slight differences in the textures for the stages Mushroom Kingdom and Forest Sign from Earthbound. If we also watch the intro video for Super Smash Bros. Melee, we could see that the rest area in Super Smash Bros. Melee's All-Star mode was probably going to be a stage at some point. We could see that Kirby is walking through the stage, and we could also see screenshots of multiple characters in this area, but we never really get access to it unless we're in All-Star mode. The motion sensor bomb item was originally going to be called the Proximity Mine from Perfect Dark, but this was later changed when Microsoft bought Rare and Nintendo wanted to avoid copyright issues. However, this is also interesting because the motion sensor bomb, although be it its title Top Secret under the game menu in the trophy menu, is actually from GoldenEye 007, another game made by Rare. Aside from this, we could also see differences in the menu for the character selection screen and the stage selection screen, most likely because this was all E3 demos and not all the characters were announced or basically shown off during these demos. And finally, Super Smash Bros. Melee was originally going to feature a different boss art than the one we got here. Originally, it was going to feature Mario and Bowser basically shooting fire at Mario and Mario getting hit to it. But now we get this. A selection screen, or a screen of Link, Mario, Bowser, and Pikachu all fighting. And it actually looks a little bit more better like this in my opinion. But that wraps it up for this episode of Beta Zone on Super Smash Bros. Melee. If you have your own recommendations for games or series you want us to do episodes on, please tell us in the comment section below, and if you see a comment you like a lot or you want to see be created, please +1 or like it or whatever it's called down there in the comment section below. If you guys want to add me on PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, or Nintendo Network, be sure to hit up the description below. I'll have all my usernames there, and also probably on the screen right now. As well as be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, because we're going to be doing more live streams on Twitch from now on. Hoping to get more into that, especially with the integration on the PS4, and just in general, we'll have the Elgato game capture, which supports that. So hopefully more live streams, so be sure to follow and we'll be doing more of those in the future. As always, gamers, thank you all very much for watching the video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Today on Beta Zone, we'll be looking at Super Smash Bros., and not just any Super Smash Bros., but the brawl that started it all, Super Smash Bros. For the N64. Super Smash Bros. 64 almost wasn't even a Super Smash Bros. Game in the first place.